Oh, oh, oh!
Hello, everybody.
Helloers, like Danielle likes to
Everybody's
say.
like, oh, that's how they look like.
"Ah." No, I'm actually very happy that this is happening because this is the way that we started. We started
Yes,
with video and like lives,
we
Instagram lives,
did.
Broadway, Broadway, and YouTube. Like it was, yeah, I like it. So it was like going back to basic and like to the original way. So you can either
This
see
is
it on
basic.
YouTube, you can either see it on YouTube or listen to it on any platform for podcasts. So
Yes, we decided we should do both video podcast and audio podcasts because, I mean, a lot of people are interacting with us on YouTube, and we want to be there. We want to be able
yeah,
to be there for you guys, and we're trying out this new platform today. I mean, technology was not on our side
it was
like it
not.
ever is, but
Yeah,
today specifically it wasn't, so we ended up recording on our phones, so that's
yeah,
why the audio is a little different from our other podcasts, but you can actually see us now.
yeah, which is pretty cool. So if you're listening to us on a music platform or whatever
Yes,
platform that you're
yes,
listening to, you can go to our YouTube channel,
yeah,
Broadway Latino, and see it, or just stay here and
stay
listen
here.
to it.
And I'm sure on Spotify we will be able to post this video podcast because they do that now, like you can do that now
What?
on Spotify. So if you're listening on
Blue mind.
Spotify, you might see us. I'm not promising anything because I don't know. This is the first one we made, so I'll post it and we'll see.
We'll
Hopefully.
see. We'll see. So I think it's very important that the first musical that we're doing this with is Daniela.
Brrrr. The sound of music.
What a
The
gem.
hills are so alive today.
The hills are very alive, especially because it was like pouring outside, so they will be very, very green.
Was it really? It was supposed to pour
Yeah.
out here, but it didn't. I think it went up to New York.
We took all the water.
You did. You did.
But I mean, this is very exciting because this musical is a a signature for musical
Yeah.
theater. It's something that I think everybody knows. One of those that like The Sound of Music, everybody knows about it. Maybe you don't know it per se,
Yeah.
but you know something about it. You know
Yeah.
Julie Andrews. You know that's
You
really where your mind
immediately, yeah. Or you've heard rainbows on roses and whiskers on, no,
goes.
raindrops. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on
On
kittens.
kittens.
It's not a Christmas song, but they've made it a Christmas song. I don't know who they is, but it's actually a song from The Sound of Music.
Well, it's because it has such important well, The Sound of Music has a lot of standards, right?
Yes.
Jazz standards. This, my favorite things being one of them. And I just think that because it's talking about like wrapping papers and snowflakes on
Yeah.
eyelashes and
Yeah.
stuff like that, it just lends
It's not,
itself for a joyful time,
yeah. And it has that
right?
melody, right? Like that Christmas melody that we're all looking
Hmm.
for. And it's, yeah. So anyway, The Sound of Music, it is, a classic by Rodgers and Hammerstein, two legends that we love, absolutely love on this podcast. This show was um, first opened on Broadway in the 50s, which is a great decade I feel for musicals. Like it left us with The King and I, with Gypsy, The Music Man, The Sound of Music.
Well,
Um,
I think it's very interesting that you mentioned that because people didn't know, that is what's called the golden age of musical theater, right? So it's
yeah,
like the end of the 50s, the 60s is where like it blossomed into this beautiful thing that we know now, and that people spend $20 million to bring a show to Broadway. And
unbelievable.
yeah, so this is it's just a fun I think it's really funny that you mentioned
Hmm.
that because yes, it is
The
huge,
golden age.
huge era for musical theater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it started with Mary Martin, right? We think of Maria von Trapp and we immediately see Julie Andrews, right? Like that's what a lot of us do. I'm not going to say everyone because I know a lot of people might also think about Mary Martin, but she started as Maria von Trapp and she was going to do a different play. Like she was going to do a play and she was going to be Maria, but it wasn't a musical. So she talked to Rogers and Hammerstein. Can you imagine just having them as friends? Like, oh hey guys, I'm working on this play, right? And it's Rogers and
Hey,
Hammerstein.
Oscar. Hey, Oscar.
Yes. So I don't know if you kind of want to write something for it, and they were
Just
supposed
give it
to
a try.
write. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, you know.
Right.
So they were supposed to write a few songs, a few little songs for this play, and it ended up being The Sound of Music. And I can't believe, I don't know. I mean, I'm so happy that it happened because then we have this masterpiece that we all fall in love with and fell in love with also, that has made history throughout the years.
It literally history throughout the years because this show has been like nonstop. I know
Yeah.
there's a non-equity tour in the U.S. that it's been going on forever, and every now and then they send out the auditions and stuff like that. So it's
Mhm.
um, it will not beat um, Les Mis. Les Mis has the record of it non-stopping.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
not necessarily on Broadway the longest, but the one that has the there's always a production happening. So it's the longest musical basically playing.
Wow.
Um, but it's yeah, I mean it's another masterpiece of Rogers and Hammerstein's. I have the full collection of DVDs. Um,
Look at that. Look at Julie.
yeah, she's just so happy, so happy, right?
What a
Um,
wonderful, like, what a wonderful actor. And to think that she wasn't into movies, right? Like she was performing on vaudeville and theater, and then along came Walt Disney and asked her to be Mary Poppins, and then the role of Maria comes. And she is the Maria that everyone knows, right? Because the movie was
a full
such a
hit.
hit
Hmm.
worldwide.
And I think that's what I love about movie musicals, right? Because it reaches communities that would never
Yeah.
otherwise appreciate it because not appreciate it be able to see it because
Yeah, be
otherwise you would
exposed
have
to
to
it. Yeah.
travel to New York
Yeah.
to see it, and like no, that's like kind of hard. So
Yeah,
um
especially if you're coming from, I mean, this is Broadway Latino, right? Like if you are like us, like we come from Guatemala, and
right.
Latin America has not every country in Latin America is big when it comes to theater, right? We have to, like, our exposure to theater is by a movie, a musical movie.
Yeah, that's why I think they're very important, even though people criticize them. Like,
Yeah.
for example, Les Mis that we were talking before. The movie of Les Mis is very criticized, and people are like, "It's terrible." It's like, what are people thinking? And I'm like, that was my first interaction with Les Mis, and I fell in love with Les Mis because of that movie.
Correct.
Otherwise, I would have had to wait another 5 years until I was here as a student
Hmm.
to be able to go see it. Right?
Wow.
So
And would
it's
have you? Well, yeah, you would have eventually, but also movies were the ones that helped, at least me, realize, oh my gosh, this is what a musical looks like,
yeah, yeah,
right? Because growing up, I mean, I remember there were several productions in Guatemala of musicals, small production, small local production, nothing professional like the ones we see on tour, or the ones we see on Broadway or the West End. But it wasn't until The Sound of Music that I discovered, oh, well, this is a genre. Okay. Oh, this can be done. Like, there's such a
oh,
thing as acting, singing, and dancing in one piece, like in one musical. Wow. And it was, I was sharing with you before, like, this was the first musical that I got to be on.
hmm.
I played Liesel, the captain's oldest daughter.
You are 16,
I
going on
know.
17.
I was 12, but I
Acting.
passed as a 16-year-old, which I
Yeah.
was so proud of.
Right, right.
Like, oh
I
my
mean,
gosh, I look 16.
I'm always proud of being older, or, I don't know. I love my birthday because I'm older.
Like,
I
more
know it's
mature?
weird.
Oh, you appreciate aging.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I
Oh,
do.
okay. Wow, that's a first. You should write a book about that.
I wrote a musical about it. Didn't.
Yes. I am
Um,
older and I love it.
but remember how people have to relate to it? Nobody will relate to that. Anyway, um,
So, but like I was saying, like this was the first musical that I got to do, and it has a special place in my heart because of that.
mhm.
What was your first? Like, what
Well,
was your introduction to this musical?
my timeline changed when we were talking about this before, but the first time that I remember realizing what The Sound of Music was when we did Moulin Rouge back in
Yeah.
Guatemala, because the first song is Christian's first song is "The hills are alive with the sound of music." So, doing my research on like why am I singing? Why is this song here? Blah 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 blah. I was like, oh, The Sound of Music, interesting, Julie Andrews. But it's something that I remember knowing Julie Andrews in The Sound of Music. Like I knew that was it. I had never seen it, but I knew that it was a thing.
Hmm.
And then along came this beauty over here that I'm going to show, Carrie Underwood in NBC's musical, live musical, The Sound of Music, where she was Maria. If you don't know, Carrie Underwood is my goddess, my role model,
Oh my gosh.
one of my role models. I love her. And she was in The Sound of Music. She was Maria. So I, of course, watched it live. I mean, on the TV, but live as it was happening.
Hmm.
It was the first one that I saw because there's one before. But I was completely in love with it. And the first time that I saw the musical, like the original film, was when I got COVID the first time back in December of 2021. Was
Oh
it? Yeah, because I was
gosh.
doing Mano La Mancha. And I got it because I was doing a show.
Oh, I remember that. Oh my gosh, you
Yeah.
got theater COVID.
Theater COVID. I almost missed closing night, but I think I did the
Yeah.
last two shows. I was like cleared,
Yeah, I
gone,
remember
going.
that. I remember your timeline at that time, like at that moment. You were
Hmm.
like, oh, I booked a show, and we were like, yay, and then you're like, I have COVID, and we're like,
No,
no.
nay.
But
Yeah,
hey, you booked a show. You booked a show, and let's leave it
yes.
like that.
Hashtag book
Um,
and blast. Yeah.
Come on. And yeah, it's wonderful. I love the original film. Yeah, of course, we didn't get to see the original Broadway show with Mary Martin
Hmm.
because it was in the 50s. It opened at 59 with 1,400 plus performances. And oh, fun fact about that: did you know that because Mary Martin was so popular at the time?
Yeah.
I mean, she played historic Peter Pan, right? Like she was this musical theater goddess.
Yeah.
So, did you know that the production sold $2 million worth of tickets before it even opened because she was going to be Maria on the show?
In 1959, that is what, like $16 million right now?
I mean, can you even believe it? Like, it's $2 million even before it opened, just because she was going to be
Gracious.
like she was that popular, right? This woman. Um,
And it was the
oh
first
my
time. It was
gosh!
before the movie, so people didn't know what the show was about. It was
No, no,
purely
no.
her.
Exactly. I mean, she originated. Like, she
Yeah.
was literally the first Maria von Trapp.
Do you ever think about, because right now we go online and we select our dates, but how did they purchase tickets in advance then? Hmm.
I wonder how marketing worked in the 50s.
Right. Like, what would you do? Was there a lottery? Because you could, sorry, I'm just like,
We should do an episode on that. Like,
we should find
how
that out.
how did it become what it is today? Like, how did the lottery came about? How did people purchase tickets back then?
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sure they would go to the theater, right? I'm sure they would have to go to the box office personally. Maybe they opened
There were phones,
before. I have no idea.
but you couldn't make a purchase on the phone. This is very interesting. Okay, yes. This is, okay, we'll find this out and figure it out.
Yeah, we've talked about the Sound of Music, but what is it about?
What is it about? That, yeah, that's true. So, Maria is a an intern nun.
A wannabe nun.
She's in the out of town tryouts to be a nun. Um,
Yeah.
so she's I don't what's the word for that in novice? Is that the word in English?
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the word. Yeah.
Yeah, so she joined the convent and she's like doing her runs to become a nun, officially a
Yeah.
nun. Um, Meanwhile, this Captain Von Trapp, who has 7 children and whose wife died, writes a letter to the convent and is like, you know what? I need help with my children. Could you please send someone? Right? Can one of the nuns come over and help me raise my children? Um, Also, because no nanny would survive the children. They were a riot. They were
Yes,
intense.
they were a real riot.
So, um,
I mean, they were something else,
there,
guys.
were- yeah, like Judas's foot. Is that what you're on?
I don't know if it translates to
I don't
English
know.
correctly
Yeah,
because she said it in Spanish. If you're Hispanic, you'll know that she said "la pata de Judas." You know, it's like Judas's footprint. So that maybe that Judas's footprint would
footprint.
translate better. I don't know,
But why is that
but
bad? I don't know.
but my aunt and my that's my aunt and her
And her
sayings
saying.
that she makes up.
Well, the thing is that they were terrible, right? They
Yeah,
were special. So here comes Maria, and the children fall in love with her. She falls in love with the children, and eventually
no,
the captain and her fall in love as well. The problem then becomes that the captain, of course, it's a captain of the military. Of the
yeah,
Navy, and he is called into service, and he's supposed to go somewhere. I don't remember where. But this is World War II situation
mhm,
era, so he is supposed to fight for the Nazis, but he does not want to. So they are forced to flee and
Lee. Yeah.
go through the Alps and the snow, and in a 3-minute song, they are gone.
I mean, that should be a YouTube video, right? Like how to cross the Alps in 3 minutes.
I mean, good luck.
A dream that will lead all the love you can give every day. Boom.
Running.
We're in
Yeah.
Switzerland.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But also something that I think it's really interesting is that this is a true story based on the
Mhm.
memoirs of the Von Trapp family singers. That was then a movie that inspired the musical. Um,
That inspired a musical movie.
right. Oh, yeah, right. It's like one after the other.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Something that I found really interesting too, as well doing the research, was that Mary Martin's husband was one of the producers, and they were going to start with a play,
Mhm.
no music. The music that was going to be in the play were like the Von Trapp family songs, original songs from them, and it was going to be
Because they
like
were singers. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. But then, like we said before, it was like, Oscar, could you like add a song here and there, and then here we go.
I know, right? Like, just imagine just having his phone number.
Yeah. Well,
Hello.
at that time, did she have the phone number, or she would call the operator, and the operator would connect
Oh yeah, for sure. Had to
her?
look at that. That's part of the episode that we have in mind.
Yeah, we should
Um,
definitely find that out.
yeah, interesting. I love, and of course, the story changes, right? Because a lot of the things that really, really happened are probably not in the story that we know
Right.
as the story of the Sound of Music, which was originally going to be a love song. Like that was the name of the show, Love Song.
To
But they begged Rodgers and Hammerstein to make it
change it.
something else.
I am glad. I'm happy for that person because
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. I wonder. Like, have you seen Love Song? I've heard it by
Sarah Bareilles.
Sarah. I'm not gonna write you a love
Ugh,
song because you ask for it, because you need one.
you'll
You
see.
see, but I
I
will write you the Sound of Music.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very happy that you are singing Sarah Bareilles since you
You're
don't hate
welcome.
her but don't like
No.
Waitress. Um,
Yeah. I'm okay with Waitress. Like, I don't, it's not that I don't like it. And I don't know why we talk about this
in
every
every episode,
single time we talk.
but
It's,
here it
I
is.
think I understand it hurts, but No, I mean, it's okay. It's not my favorite show, but I appreciate. And I mean, Sarah Bareilles is wonderful. I'm not gonna. It's not. It's nothing against Sarah Bareilles. It's just the. It's not my favorite show.
She is doing right now a revival of Into the Woods.
Is she in it?
Yes, she's the baker's wife.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to see it.
Oh,
Um,
why not?
well, because it's expensive,
Oh yeah,
and yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I win the lottery to see it. But
yeah.
I,
You
because
should,
Gavin Creel is in it. Gavin Creel is one of my role models.
Gavin.
Um, Gavin Creel is in
You
it.
are not making this easier for me. Like I need to go to New York. We need to watch the
This
show.
would
We
be.
need to raise funds to watch the show.
I mean, the thing is, it's also closing in
Yeah.
the end of August or something like that. But is Patina Miller in it still? Into the Woods. She was in it. I don't know if she's still in it. Yep, she's the
Still?
witch. Patina Miller
No.
is the witch.
Wow. What a
Um,
wonderful cast.
it's a tremendous cast. It's insane. It's so good, so good.
We're going to talk about Into the Woods soon, but back to The
Yes,
Sound of Music.
yes,
We drifted. We drift all the time, but this is because we love Broadway, guys. Like,
yeah. There's so much to talk
this is
about.
to people who love musicals and who, I mean, that's why we studied musical theater, I guess.
Yeah, and why we have a podcast
Um,
about it.
what is to kind of close because it's about time to close. What is your favorite song from The Sound of Music?
So previously, when you asked me, I said um, my favorite things. I think
Mhm.
that is my favorite song from the show. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Um, but I oh my god, I just thought of another song and I was like, oh, this should also be mentioned. Oh, doe, a deer, a
Oh
female
yes,
deer, a
Ray, a drop of
golden
golden
sun.
sun.
Which is very interesting because it's all. So this is me. This is something that I just realized like recently is that they're all puns or like word plays.
Yes,
Because I was like, doe? I did not know that doe was a female deer, even though they say
yes.
it's a female deer. And I was like, Ray,
Literally, they've been telling you
the whole time. And it's like, Ray, drop of golden sun.
since the 50s.
Right, right.
Yeah,
But I was in my brain, I was like, D-O is then it's solfege. That's it.
right.
R-E,
Dope. Yeah.
Ray. It was not the sound of Ray, like
It's just, yeah.
me, a name I call myself.
It's not necessarily how it's spelled, but how it sounds.
Exactly. But it's really
Yeah.
interesting. And I think that's
Hmm.
the beauty of that song and how they're able to
Beautiful
do it.
song.
And also because of that song, I know where Doe is.
Thank you, Rogers and Hammerstein.
Yeah. What
Oh
about
my
you?
gosh,
What's
yeah,
your
that's the
favorite
story
song?
of my life with a lot of tests at school. Like I passed a lot of tests because I remember a song about the solar system, or I remember a song about it's. Don't tell my teachers, but yes,
Right.
thanks to music, right?
Thanks to music. For me,
Um,
it's sight singing class. It was the sound of music. I was like, Doe, Doe. And then I got confused where it started. Because then you had movable Doe. Solfege is great. Um, but yeah, what about you? What's your favorite song from the sound?
my favorite song. Well, I adore this musical.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like again, I told you, it's like it has a very special place in my heart. I know I my husband laughs at me because I know the movie by heart. Like I could
Wow.
recite the lines. I mean, I'm not saying all of them because it's a 2 hour movie, but I know a lot of scenes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
um 16 going on 17, I have to say, because that's the first song that I ever performed on stage
Huh.
on a musical in Spanish. So it was like, Tengo solo 16 años, soy un capullo en flor. It sounds really weird, I know.
It sounds very. I had never heard it in Spanish.
But me neither. But to me, it was the most beautiful song I had ever sang
Hmm.
in Spanish, right? And then I learned it in English and I, ooh, fell in love with it.
Yeah.
So that song has just definitely is definitely my favorite one. But then Maria's song, I have confidence in sunshine. I have confidence in rain. Oh, that song. I don't know. It describes me. That's my everyday routine.
You wake up.
Like
Those
I
are your
wake up
daily
literally and I'm like,
affirmations.
what will this day be like? I wonder.
That's like your daily
It could
affirmations in
be
front of the
so
mirror.
exciting.
Yeah, yeah. Oh well. Well, that's a good song to do that with. Like I'm
Yes. Oh
actually
my gosh.
I'm gonna set my alarm to wake up with that song now.
Oh my gosh, George, we should do that.
But maybe
Like record ourselves with our morning routine and that song, right? Like what we do and just like brushing our teeth. It could be so exciting to be out in the world, to be
I'm
free.
almost just never excited to wake up.
No, me
As in
neither.
like not as in a depressive way, as in like I want to keep sleeping.
Oh
I love
yeah.
to sleep.
Oh yeah. Heck yes.
So I'm a zombie in the morning.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
me
I
too.
get to work and I'm still asleep. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure.
Yeah, for sure. But just for the sake of a video,
Okay, fine.
you know. Or we could be sarcastic about it. I mean, you could be like, "What will this day be like?"
That would be my version, yes. All right. Sounds good.
Oh my gosh, that would be so great. But on that note, dear
Yes.
people, go watch The Sound of Music if you haven't. If you have, this is a good moment to go watch it again and just appreciate Julie Andrews or Carrie
Carrie
Underwood
Underwood.
or both of them. Yes.
No, Julie Andrews. If you're gonna watch a version, watch Julie Andrews' first. Because it's the
Yeah.
pure like yeah, I would say that.
The essence of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Because sadly we don't have a video of Mary Martin. So I would watch the three of them. But we hope that this episode has made you interested in the movie. That's what we have, and it's beautiful because it has made history. Like this musical is has I mean Rodgers and Hammerstein just they have contributed so much to musical theater, and musical theater is a lot in part because of it is what it is today. A lot in part because of their work and what they did
Oh,
and what they contributed through their shows. So thank you for listening. Go watch. I don't know if you want to say anything else.
yeah, follow us on social media. Go on Instagram, official Broadway Latino. And YouTube, now that we have video, you can do that too. Broadway Latino. And yeah, can't wait to talk with you again about another musical. Till the next episode, guys.
Adios, familia.
Woo!